Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So CD Projekt Red announced sequels to some of their well-known IPs. We finally have an official reveal date set for that new Need for Speed game, as well as some official artwork that was leaked out by the Need for Speed website themselves. And we have a new Nintendo Direct announced for later this week, but it won't feature any games. We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and we can keep you up to date with gaming news. Now let's get started. So first, let's take a look at that announcement of the Nintendo Direct, this coming from Nintendo of America. Tune in at 1:05 p.m. Pacific, which is 4:05 p.m. Eastern, on October 6th for a Nintendo Direct, the Super Mario Bros. Movie presentation introducing the world premiere trailer for the upcoming film. No game information will be featured. And then they give us, I guess you could say, the first movie poster. Now I will note that there's still not a title put on this poster. It does have the Super Mario Bros. Movie at the bottom, but we still don't know for sure if that's going to be a title or if maybe there might be some subtitle on it. Now this Direct is set to go up 5 minutes after the trailer premieres at New York Comic-Con at 4 p.m. Eastern. We saw this announcement a few weeks ago, and I do have to wonder what we'll see in a dedicated Direct for what's supposed to be just a teaser trailer. Now we'll probably get some type of introduction from Miyamoto. Maybe even some of the voice actors might have a few words to say about working on the movie and how much they enjoy it. But I think what most people are anticipating hearing is Chris Pratt's Mario voice. But I think there will be a subset of people that will be disappointed, not because they won't hear Mario's voice, but because this is a teaser trailer. Now these are usually really short with not much actual footage from the movie. It's usually some kind of special footage that's created just for the trailer to sort of introduce you to the movie. But keep an eye out for that trailer on Thursday, and I'll let you know what my impressions are about it when I do my video for Friday. Next, we had CD Projekt Red announce a whole lot of projects that they're currently working on. And I'm going to go through these Twitter announcements pretty quickly here. First, we have Orion is a code name for our next Cyberpunk game, which will take the Cyberpunk franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. And then our next tweet is Polaris is a code name for the next installment in the Witcher series of games, which we recently announced was in pre-production. It is the beginning of a new saga. We aim to release 2 more Witcher games after Polaris, creating a new AAA RPG trilogy. And then the next announcement, Canis Majoris is a full-fledged Witcher game separate to the new Witcher saga started with Polaris. It will be developed by an external studio headed by experienced developers who have worked on past Witcher games. And if you haven't got enough Witcher, we have another announcement. Cirrus is a code name for the game developed by Molasses Flood, set in the Witcher universe and created with support from CD Projekt Red. It will differ from our past productions, offering multiplayer gameplay on top of single-player experience, including a campaign with quest and story. And if you didn't know, Molasses Flood is a subsidiary of CD Projekt Red, who they acquired last year. And then we have the final announcement here. Hadar is a code name for a third, entirely distinct IP created from scratch within CD Projekt Red. The project is in the earliest stages of the creative process, which means we are not developing any game yet, but working exclusively on the foundation for this new setting. And that was a whole lot of announcements they made yesterday, and we do have this chart that they released that shows you the Witcher games, and you have Cirrus, the new Witcher trilogy, and then Canis Majoris. And then you have Cyberpunk 2077 with, of course, Phantom Liberty, and then the newly announced Orion sequel. and then Hadar, which is the new IP that we really don't know much about yet. So definitely a lot of information here. Unfortunately, we don't have really any timeline of when any of these are going to release. So good news for Witcher and Cyberpunk fans and the fact that you're getting new games, but unfortunately we don't know how far out that will be. Next, I actually debated covering this because it's just an announcement for an announcement, but then we had a little more news develop. But first, let's look at the tweet here from the Need for Speed account. Need for Speed 2022 reveal, Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. Eastern. And then they have a link to the YouTube video, and I have that in reference in the description here, so you can actually go ahead and pull that up and turn on the notifications for that video so you can watch it when it comes up. And there have been a whole lot of leaks about this game, but there's been a more recent leak that actually came from EA's own website. We have this tweet here from Wario64. The new Need for Speed game is titled Unbound, which I think we've already known that from a lot of the leaks that have came out. However, this latest leak of artwork was from EA's own website. Now, this was already taken down by the time I tried to visit the website, but I saw it posted all over the internet yesterday. And this does seem to kind of match some of that artwork that we saw leaked out earlier of this stylized version. And as I've mentioned in my other videos, I'm really hoping for a rebound for Need for Speed Unbound because their latest Need for Speed games have kind of been subpar. Next, we have some more information about Microsoft's attempt to acquire Activision Blizzard, but before we look at that, there's one interesting note here. Microsoft has put up their own dedicated website, kind of making the argument for why this should go through. We have things like this chart here titled Benefits of Xbox plus Activision Blizzard, and they outline what they think would be the benefits for players, game creators, and the gaming industry. And the site also has all the previous statements by Microsoft about the acquisition, including various comments such as Phil Spencer's statement in January that Microsoft provided a signed agreement to Sony to guarantee Call of Duty on PlayStation, and it would have feature in parity and content in parity with the Xbox version for at least several more years. And I think this is a real sign that Microsoft is seeing that this deal may not go through as easily as they thought. We've seen increased scrutiny by various regulatory authorities around the world. And we had this announcement come from the Competition and Markets Authority from the EU stating that basically they're going to wrap up their evaluation of this by the 1st of March of next year. And you can see the timeline they have laid out here of each step. So at the very least, we should know something from the EU come March 1st of next year. And I'm not going to claim to be an authority on how all this works, all these different regulatory bodies around the world, but I do have to wonder what would happen, say if it gets approved by the US, but say another country denies the acquisition. So it's probably going to be quite a mess if every authority doesn't approve this. But if you happen to know a lot about mergers and acquisitions on a global scale, make sure to drop a comment and let us know. And then finally, we have the games coming to Game Pass for the month of October. So available now, we have Chivalry 2 for Cloud Console and PC, and this is a multiplayer first-person slasher inspired by epic medieval movie battles. That's at least according to the description. And then coming October 6th, we have Medieval Dynasty for Xbox Series X and S. And then we have 2 Walking Dead games. We have the complete first series and season 2, both coming for PC. And then on October 11th, we have Costume Quest for Cloud and Console, and this is an RPG. And then we have Evil coming for console and PC, and this is available day 1 with Game Pass, and this is a multiplayer social deduction game. And then on October 13th, we have Dyson Sphere Program for PC, and this is again available on day 1 with PC Game Pass, and this is a simulation strategy game. And on October 14th, we have Scorn for Cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S, available day 1 with Game Pass. And this is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game. And then finally on October 18th, we have a Plague Tale Requiem for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. And this is also available day one with Game Pass, and this is a direct sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence. And this seems to be one of the bigger titles coming this month, so you may want to check it out. And if you haven't played Innocence, you may want to play that beforehand. But of course, when we have games coming into Game Pass, we have these leaving on October 15th. We have Bloodroots, Echo Generation, Into the Pit, Ring of Pain, Sable, and The Good Life. Now, I haven't tried any of these out, so if there's ones that you think that we need to check out before they're gone, make sure to leave a comment below and let us all know. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Are you looking forward to that teaser trailer for the Mario Brothers movie? And do you think we'll actually get to hear Chris Pratt's voice in it? And how long do you think it might be before we see these new Witcher games and this sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, especially considering how long the first game took to come out? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching and be good.